Hi, everyone. So I've been thinking about this for a while. And although I talked about the media in many of my prior videos, I think today is a good day to do more of a deep dive into this specific subject and the implications and the extreme harmful, toxic, and negative impacts that this has had on mankind and society as a whole. So, what am I talking about? Well, for as far back as I can remember, and all you have to do is take a look at the history of the human race, there has been this ongoing spiritual war going on. People may not be aware of it, people may not acknowledge this, understand it, accept it. But the fact remains that there has been this ongoing spiritual war on this realm, on this material plane, for a very long time. And the effects of such war have been horrendous to say the least. But now we have reached this point, this apex, pivotal moment, where I would I would say without a shadow of a doubt, it's worse than it's ever been. So when did that turning point happened? I think it has a lot to do with development of certain technologies and then media consumption in general. And when I talk about media consumption, it's not necessarily, just mainstream media. It's all forms of media, whether it is movies, cinema, TV shows, products, certain types of marketing, the school system, the education system, political indoctrination, the music industry, pretty much all of it, with a very subset, small percentage of it that does not apply because that would be good music. Things like classical music and stuff that's no, it's actually good for the soul. But there aren't a whole lot of people out there that listen to that type of stuff. It's a very small group of percentage of the population, I would say. So I remember when I was younger, many of the movies, many of the things that I have watched growing up, it started a few decades ago, but it's been ramping up and increasing it exponentially over the past, I would say, couple of decades. So they started, inserting these messages and these things into movies and things like that, where um, they are making the position of the father and the man weaken as a whole, making jokes about it, all kinds of different things. I'm not even gonna say any examples here because this is blatantly clear for everyone who has half a brain. And all you got to do is watch some movies and you'll see movies from the 80s, 90s, and then going forth, how This has been going on for a very long time. All the things that really matter, all the things that should be cherished and valued as societal standards, and things that everyone should live by, were completely eroded, destroyed, ridiculed, made fun of, attacked heavily. And when you grow up as a child looking at these things and everything goes straight into your subconscious, you don't really know the type of damage that is going to do. But once it's there, it won't go anywhere. And because it's a subconscious thing, it's deep, deep conditioning, deep programming. That kind of stuff is no joke, guys. You got to do some research to understand how impactful that is on a person's life, psychologically speaking, emotionally speaking. Because all it really takes, it's a couple of generations of that stuff going on to make such profound changes and impacts widespread throughout the world and throughout different cultures, societies, and everything. That once that's done, it's mission accomplished, basically. So media consumption has played a major role on this. And this is why I talked about this many times before in the past, how important it is for us to be very discerning of the things that we are consuming, assimilating into our minds, whatever that may be. Because this is a very, very sinister and shady system that is at place here, that works in such subtle ways that it is fair to say almost unnoticeable. And only those that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear will notice these things. And now it's a little easier to talk to people about these things than it was, let's say, 20, 30 years ago, without being labeled crazy and all kinds of other things, right? People were beginning to see a lot of this. But it's gotten horrible because now we have these mobile devices, we have all this technology, we have all these algorithms, we have all these things going on, and our children are being so heavily subjected to these things. And if you're a parent, we as parents, we have the obligation to supervise these things and make sure that our kids are not being literally brainwashed by all this garbage and all this bad stuff that is out there, because let me tell you, there is a lot of it. It seems that most people have realized that mainstream media is there to do its thing. And most people, I would say, are waking up to this. But now, because of that, there is this subset of media, which is what some would call alternative media, which is in platforms like this one. And there are a lot of people out there who have grown a lot in this specific area. But you have to be very careful and very discerning again about these things, because if anything, be very skeptical of people that would be classified as mainstream media and have huge followings and are getting pushed, especially the ones that come out of nowhere in a short amount of time. Because I'm going to tell you, these people, look at their history, look at who they are, where they come from, who they are married with, who their partners are, what is their family history. Do a little bit of research before you jump on the bandwagon. Because the alphabet agencies have been very, very busy working with a lot of these people to fulfill their own agendas and to continue this breaking down of society, of division, hatred, fighting that never ends. Because this is how they win. While everyone is fighting among themselves, they are laughing at us. They are laughing at us. So I don't even know if there is a solution or a way out of this problem at this point, to be perfectly honest with you, other than learning how to be aware, how to be present, how to be able to think for yourself 24/7, and basically always be discerning of everything you see and everything that you consume. And this is one of the reasons why places like my channel don't get a lot of exposure, views, and things like that. Because the algorithm knows. It knows. They don't want people like me out here saying these things. It's extremely sad, discouraging, frustrating, to say the least sometimes, because those of us that finally realize what kind of game we're playing here and how these things happen, we're trying to make a difference, but I'm not gonna lie, guys, there are days where it feels like it's absolutely pointless and I'm actually wasting my time doing this. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep doing this, to be honest with you guys. I enjoy doing this, but this takes time out of my life to do it, and I gain nothing from it. So I don't know. You tell me. We'll see. We'll see how the story ends. But right now, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. And I don't like to feel defeated because I refuse to. It's not a good place to be. It's not a good way to feel about yourself. But this war, this spiritual war, it takes a toll on those of us that know what's really happening. And that's really all I want to talk about today. So just know and be aware of these things and do the best that you can do for yourself to always be vigilant when it comes down to these things. Because the people in power, the people in control, they have been playing this game for a very long time, and they know how to do it. They've mastered it. So it's really not that easy. It becomes easy after you figured it out for a while and you learn how to navigate through it all, but it's not easy. I'm going to leave it at that, my friends. If you like the channel, don't forget to leave a like, share, subscribe. Helps the channel grow and reach more people. Be safe. Take care. Until next time.